Hello again, guys. So sorry for that. I wasn't able to monitor the time anymore. Well, anyway, I've actually saw that you still have 1 minute left, but it's too late to see that we don't have enough time anymore. So that is why it forcefully closed and ended our meeting. Anyway, so we are now here, if I'm not mistaken. So were you guys already there? Are you guys now ready to continue our discussion?
Yes, sir.
All right. How about the others? Oops.
Yes, sir. Okay na po.
Uh, all right. So I think we have stopped right here. Wherein I've mentioned that this is where it will show the total travel flight. Okay, in our text box data text, which is this one. Okay, and we have here the computation for the distance and then the height. Okay, so for the distance again, you will see the formula right here. Just simply copy that one and put it in the correct syntax in Visual Basic. But of course, we have here a, a hint wherein we have to convert this radian angle, I mean this degree angle into radian measurement. That's why we have multiplied this angle by mod pi divided by 180. So the same with the other computations. Okay. Right, so here we have the computation for the distance, computation for the height, which is this one, okay? And we have here the where we show the values, okay, for the time, the distance, and then the height. So we have also formatted them wherein it will only get the first two decimals. So format, and then the value, and then F right here. So meaning you're formatting whatever is the result of this one into a fixed value. So the first two decimals only. And then it's incrementing by zero point 0.5. So initially it's 0, and it will only stop once it reach the maximum peak light, or let's say once it reach 0. Okay. And right here, we have an incrementing value of 0.5. So if you're going to take a look on this one, guys, it's super the same with this one. Okay, because what we are doing in here is we are showing the final value. Okay, so in here it will keep on looping, okay, until it reach the last value, okay, up to 30, I guess, but it will not show to you the 30 point something anymore. So if I will remove this one, okay, I'll make the other four as a comment for now. And if I'll play this one, so we have 350 and then 25. So it will still give us the same answer, 30.17. However, in the data grid view, okay, it already stopped at a 30, okay, wherein it didn't show to us anymore the final value wherein the it's 30.17. So the reason is uh, it's we are incrementing by 0.5. So supposedly we have 30.5 in here, but since the next value is 30.17, so that's why it didn't show to us the value in here anymore. Okay, so for us to be able to see the final value up to 30.17, so we have to do another computation for the distance, for the height, and then for the travel flight, wherein, of course, initially our T flight is 0. Okay, so for us to have the 30.17, let's put another computation for distance and height and for the T also. So as you guys can see right here, whatever is the value for the T flight right here will be shown to us, okay, which is 30.16655. And then its equivalent distance traveled, and then the height, which is 0.00, right? Okay, so that is why we have another computation down below, aside from this loop, okay, starting from 0 up to 30. All right. So are we clear so far with this one? Well, I'm not expecting you guys to understand this 100%, but at least maybe the concept. Okay, 30% or 40%? Okay, so how many percent, guys, that you were able to understand this one? So I know this one is quite long. No? Were you still there? Are you guys still there? Ano pa ba kayo? Okay, so it seems that this one is quite hard for you to understand. Anyway, so this is how we've got those results. Okay, so yeah, one thing that I could recommend is do this one on your own. Okay, so you have to experience this one on your own for you to appreciate, okay, what is happening on this code and then with this output. All right. Okay, so oops. Okay, right here. Next one is exercise number 11. So given different values, assume all are integers. Okay, and then listed in the list box, determine the sum of the values. Okay, so in here we have a manual input. Take note, it's manually inputted coming from our list box. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, negative 135, and then 2, 4, 6. And then here's the code for this one. So let's copy this one and then have the same result and discuss the code later on. So new project, exercise number 11. We need this box, a button, and then a text box where it will show us the result. Text box, and then a button. Let me just change the font size of those three components. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Then we have here compute. This is where we put the code. And of course, we have to put the manual inputs. So the first one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, negative 1, 2, 3, yes. 1, 3, 5, and then 2, 4, 6. Okay. So we should get a sum of 1, 4, 7, 9. Okay. So let's see for now if we have the same result. So sum is 1, 4, 7, 9. Okay. So in here, we have declared two variables, the total, okay, and then the counter, which is the whatever is the first value in here. So the counter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it will be added, or all of them will be added with each other. Okay. So in here, we started with 0 to list box 1 that items that count -1. So this function is actually our it will read the first value and then it will count to the next one, or it will keep on counting until it reach the last part of that cell or of that row. Okay, so you will start with 0 row, okay, which is this one, until it reach, or it will reach the final value, which is 2 4 6. Okay, and then in here we have a list box 1 that items that counter. So whatever is the result in here will be added in total. Okay, so whatever is the final value will be shown on our final value, or the total variable. Okay, so of course it will just keep on counting by 1, okay, with this function. So by this row, second row, third row, up to the last row. And then we have here the string wherein sum is wherein we saw a text sum is, and then the computed value. Okay, so take note that in here it's now shown, or it's now being displayed as a string. So before it was computed as a integer or as a number, but in here we have converted that one as a string. Okay, so whatever is the final value in here are now a string. Okay, so yeah, that's how we've computed the items on our list box. Okay, with the use of this function, okay, that keeps on reading row by row. Okay, and then of course it's so there you go. So we have a result of Sam is 147. So if you want to change the if you want to change the value of this one, then just go to collection, and then let's say add another value. Let's say 1000, and then it will read until 1000. So before we only have 1479, and right now we now have 2479. All right, so anyway, that's it for this exercise number 11. So you may try this one also on your own, so you can see what is happening in here. And we have this exercise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so let's answer this one by one. So take note that this exercise is the one that I'll give to you guys in finals. So mostly we have this computation. So all you do is tell how many times does each of the following loops iterate and what is the final value of the variable x in each case. So in here we have to know, okay, how many times this will iterate or this will loop, okay, and then what is the final value of our x. So for the number one, okay, what is the final value? I think the first one that you need to answer is the final value, since that is the easiest one. So take note that our initial value is 5, so it's already given. However, we don't know yet what is the final value of x. So we've used while and then end while. So while x is less than or equal to 30, it will keep on looping. Okay. So from here, you can already say that the final value is 30. Okay. But another question here is how many times number one will iterate? Anyone who wants to answer number one? So the final value is 30. So it's already given. But how many times this will iterate? Anyone? So it's only incrementing by 1.
24 ba, sir?
24? No, actually the correct answer is 26. Yeah. So the answer of Miss Eliza is correct. So the one thing that you can do if you're not sure is you can, type the initial value up to the last value. So 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay. So if you're going to count this one, so we have 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 6 characters in here, or 6 values. So a total of 26 iterations. So number one will iterate 26 times. Right? So this will only become difficult, let's say, if it's not incrementing by 1 anymore. Let's say it's incrementing by 2 or incrementing by 3. So that will change the scenario. So why 26? Because if you're going to take a look at this one, we have 30 minus 5. So we have a total of 25 numbers since it's only incrementing by 1. But since we have started with 5 itself, okay, so we have to include the starting point, which is plus 1. So that's why we have a total of 26. All right. So yeah, that's it for number 1. How about number 2? So we have an initial value here of 10, okay, and then it will only stop once it reaches the value of 50. Okay, and it's incrementing by 5. So what is our final value in number 2? Anyone? What is the final value of number 2? Okay, so let me call someone since no one is answering. Moises, Mr. Moises Martin. Okay, so I guess he's not around. How about Mr. Charles Daniel? Mr. Charles? Charles? Yeah, Charles.
Yes, sir.
Charles Daniel. So what is our final value? Okay, what is the final value of x in number 2?
Sir.
Okay. So could you please answer number 2? What is the final value of number 2?
Wait lang, sir. Yung signal ko po, sir. Wait lang po.
So you can guess. It's okay. If, you'll have a incorrect answer. Initial value is 10, then final value, or it will only stop iterating once it reach the value 50. So the first question is, what is the final value? Mr. Charles, na pa ba? So it's okay if you can pass the question to your other classmates. Since we don't have that much time left anymore. Dual X. So your answer, Ms. Eliza, is incorrect. So take note, 2 while x is less than or equal to 50. So it won't reach that number anymore. All right. So I'll be the one who's going to answer this one since we don't have enough time anymore. Okay. So in here, the first thing that you need to know is what is the incrementing value of this initial value? So it's incrementing by 5. So will it be able to reach the value 50? So I think yes, since if you're going to increment this one by 5, it will reach the value of 50. So our final value is, and for us to verify whether the final value is 50 or no, we have to do this one manually. So the initial value is 10. So 10, oops. So it's incrementing by 5. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and then 50. So in here, we were able to reach 50 since we have this condition wherein do while x is lesser than or equal to 50. Wherein we have a final value here, which is equal to 50. So that is why we have here 50 as our final value. And then just simply count this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. So we have a total of 9 iterations. Okay. So if this one, let's say if we have do while, I cannot copy this one. Say we have initial value of 10. Okay, and then we have do while x is less than 50 and it's incrementing by 5. So the final value of this one is what?
45.
So the final value of this one is 45. Okay, since we have a condition, do while x is less than 50. So yes, it's still incrementing by 5, but once it reaches the value of 45, okay, that's the time that it will stop looping since the condition is less than 50. Because if it will keep on, iterating up to 50, then this one now is incorrect. Okay. That is why in here we have final value 45 and then it iterates 8 times. Okay. So that's how you check or answer what is the final value and then how many times it will iterate. So are we clear so far regarding with example number 2?
Yes, sir.
So were you guys able to follow at least a little? All right. So very good, Mr. M. Darlson. Anyway, so we have more examples. So how about number 3? How many times? What is the final value first? Actually, we can already answer iteration. So I drop those two. You can answer the final value or how many times it will iterate. All right. So how about the iteration first? How many times this will iterate? So we have an initial value of 60, and we have decrementing value. Okay, and then it will loop until x is equal to 40. So take note, we are now using the word, the syntax until. So in here, it will only loop as long as this one is false, it will keep on looping. Okay, that's the point. So once this one became true, okay, x is equal to 40, then that's the time that it will stop looping. So how many times this will iterate?
8, sir.
How many times? 3? 3 yung sagot mo, Mr. M. Darlson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's incorrect. Okay, mali yun, mali. Any other guess? I don't know if you guys can hear that one. Someone is actually doing a carpenter thing on above, okay, of this room. Maybe they're fixing something above in there. So I hope that it doesn't distract you guys. 5, so coming from Mr. Rilliorta. Okay, so 5. So 5 is incorrect. So take note, we've started with 60 and it's decrementing by 10. So the next value here is 50. And then if you're going to take a look at this one, it will only stop looping once this one is already true, wherein x is equal to 40. So we will not proceed to 40 anymore since someone challenged. So the correct answer is 2. Okay, so we will not continue iterating this one anymore since uh, this one is already true, wherein x is equal to 40. Okay, so this will only iterate 2 times, and then the final value is, right? So again, take note, if we have until, okay, do until, so it will stop looping once it reach or once the condition became true. Okay, so it will keep on looping while this one is false. So that's the opposite of do while, okay, or while, and what else? For next, and uh, what are the other one? I forgot the other one, but we have 4 syntaxes for true conditions and then true results, and then 2 only for the false condition. Wherein one here is the loop until, and then the do until. Anyway, that's it for the number 3. How about number 4? How many times that this will iterate? So we've started with 100, and it's decrementing by 20. So the next value here is 80. And right here, we have here do until x is greater than 70. Oops. Actually, in here, we have already a true value or a true condition wherein it will stop looping once it reach the true condition. Okay, so that is why here initially we already have made this one true. So this one will actually never iterate because initially 100 is already greater than 70, wherein this one is already true. So this will never iterate. Okay, so we have some conditions like this also wherein the looping will never iterate, and then the final value is 100. Since that is our initial value, and then this already made the final value since this one is already true at initial value. All right. So I hope this one is clear to you guys in number 4. So just take note the word until, the do while, what else? What is the other 3? So we have what do you call that one? Pre-condition and post-condition. Yeah, so for the precondition, we have the condition at the first one or the second row. And then for the post condition, we have the condition at the final row, which is this one. Anyway, the answer for number 4, so 0 iterations, and then final value is 100. So are we clear with number 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, this is one thing that you guys need to check from the every time that you're going to compute how many times this will iterate or what is the final value. So the until and then the do while. So if it's do, then you should have a true value here to keep on iterating. But if here, once this one is true, then it will stop iterating. So it's basically the opposite of this one. Anyway, how about number 5? So initial value is 15, and it will only stop iterating once it reaches the value of 45. So iterations, we don't know yet. So let's start with initial value 15, and plus 5 is 20, and plus 5 again is 25, and plus 5 again is 30. So take note that we have the function exit value in here, wherein it will forcefully close the loopings once it reached this value. So even though we haven't reached the value of 45 yet, and yeah, it will stop looping already. So we have 5 iterations, and then the final value is 30, since we have this function. Okay, so that's it for number 5. I hope this one is clear to you guys. So we now only have 5 minutes, so that's why I'm finishing this one quicker. Anyway, so are we clear with number 5? Okay, so very good, Mr. Villorta. How about the others? Are you guys able to follow on how did we get the answer of number 5? All right, anyway, so I hope the others were able to get this one. So very good also, Miss Eliza. Hey, how about number 6? How many times this will iterate? So we have an initial value of 100, and then we have do while x is greater than 75. So it will keep on looping while this one is true, wherein 100 is greater than 75. And it's decrementing by 5. So next one is 95, 90, 85, 80, 75. Oops. So coming from Mr. Rilliota, so he said that it will iterate 6 times. So let's see. So in here we have another condition wherein if x is greater than 75, then exit loop. Oh. Initially, okay, initially, our first value is already greater than 75. Okay, so that is why this will only iterate one time. Okay, wherein 100 is greater than 75. Okay, and it says here that once this one is true, then it will stop iterating. And since our initial value, already triggered this condition, so that is already our final value. Okay, so you guys are willing to check if this condition were already met. So if this is already met, then you have to exit the looping. Okay, so I hope that you guys were able to follow the number 6. So it will only iterate one time, okay, and then the final value is 100. So are we clear with number 6? All right. Okay. So since we still have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6 examples, and we don't have enough time anymore. So let's have a part 4. Maybe 10 minutes only for the part 4, since we need to finish this one, okay, for 1 to 12, so that next meeting will start with a new topic. Okay. So goodbye for now, and see you guys on part 4. So let's discuss the remaining examples for 10 minutes only. All right. Is that okay to you guys? Just 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Let's just finish the remaining examples, or remaining exercises. Okay, so I will end this one now so that you guys can join the part 4 already. All right, so let's finish this exercise. Okay, so bye and see you guys later.